Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're watching out what if Pakistan formed an empire. Now technically they did have an empire. It was called the Mughal Empire. Because it was kind of like Islamic in a way. But in this scenario, no, they're not reforming that. Let me close out some of these tabs. If we look at the Mughal Empire, yep, it was Islamic dynasty that ruled over parts of India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. If we look at a map where it is, it also has Bangladesh and parts of Iran. This thing is lying, this AI. But have most of India, a bit of Bangladesh, almost all of Bangladesh, a bit of Pakistan, almost all of Pakistan. Afghanistan is still there. Even went into Iran a little bit. But yeah, they're not reforming that. They're not reforming that. They're making an empire. A Pakistani empire. What is this? What is this? Huh? What? I don't get this. What is Trump doing? Anyway, the first target, well, it can't be India because, well, someone might want to get involved. I'm not saying who. Actually, the U.S. wouldn't intervene. Actually, they would intervene. Because they are friendly with both of them, India and Pakistan. So they would try to stop the fight. But yeah, instead they'll shift their focus over to Afghanistan, who we all know has great defense. They're like the Switzerland of Asia. Because they literally have the best defense. Their terrain is the best. Like, we all know that. The British tried a long time ago. It failed. The Soviets tried. It failed, which eventually led to their collapse. Even the U.S. tried, but the Taliban took over Afghanistan, so the U.S. had to flee. So, yeah. But this is not Afghanistan's empire. We've already done Afghanistan. This is Pakistan's empire. So what they do? Well, they send their forces in. Well, they send special forces into Afghanistan that know how to deal with mountains. Technically, Afghanistan was a part of the Mughal Empire of it, but yeah, they're an independent nation. But yeah, the Pakistani forces will make great advances until Afghanistan pushes into Pakistan, going into Kashmir, taking a lot of regions. The front lines look something like this. So yeah. Yeah, the Pakistanis are able to push back against the Afghans, even the Afghans managed to push them back a bit over here. But that fails because now this corridor over here, this little panhandle is cut off, which gets completely taken. Now some troops over here are getting circled. And yeah, they're completely wiped out. Yeah, this is just a little weird, but Afghanistan's falling apart. Russia, US, and the UK look at them like, why are you invading Afghanistan? They would literally push back, but they say, we watched your past mistakes. We know what to do. So yeah, they go around over and over. Like, they're trying to encircle Kabul, which I'm pretty sure they've already taken it. Hold on, let me just go check. Yeah, they did take it already. So, they've already captured the capital. Now they're just trying to squeeze down the forces that fled. Which goes well at first, but then they managed to push back against the Pakistani forces, taking back Kabul. But that will come at a cost because now the Pakistanis are going back over here, circling a large amount of forces over here in Kabul. But eventually, these forces are wiped out, and Afghanistan is no more. Let's take a look at a peace treaty. Alright, in this peace treaty we see full annexation, of course, because, well, there's no peace treaty signed with Afghanistan. There was no, border changes for Afghanistan. They just got completely annexed into Pakistan. Which means, yeah. It's actually kind of nice. I like the borders of this empire now. If we turn off, borders, you can see how this looks. From the map, it looks pretty nice. It does look nice. We're gonna have to turn those back on so we can see where they take them. But now, they shift their focus over towards I think this is Tajikistan. Yeah, they turn their forces to Tajikistan. So now they're invading into Tajikistan. That was a mouthful for some reason. And yeah, this is going pretty well. Because all of Tajikistan gets fully annexed by Pakistan. I was about to say Afghanistan, but they've already had their empire. This is Pakistan. Or Pakistan. I cannot speak right now, but oh my god, these borders actually look pretty nice. So I'm gonna have to look at like the oh god, the border gore. I was saying the borders looked nice. Never mind. Oh god. Yep, okay. I I jinxed myself. But no seriousness. Yeah, it looks weird. Oh god. Oh my god, bro. Border gore at its finest, I guess. Yeah, so where do they go from here? Well, they go in to Kyrgyzstan. And yeah, this is going pretty well for them because now they're reaching the border of Kazakhstan, which, yeah, not good for Kazakhstan. Yeah, so Kyrgyzstan will also get completely annexed by Pakistan. Now, obviously, this looks weird, but it's kind of awesome to see because, like, the borders are changing and it looks nice for a bit. The borders over here look good. Minus all of this. You might want to go after someone. But yeah, the empire is pretty good. Where do we go from here? Well, let's just say they want to pay someone a little visit. That being Bangladesh. Now, they used to own Bangladesh. Bangladesh used to be a part of Pakistan. When, like, the British Empire left the Indian subcontinent. So basically, it was divided up. Basically, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, India, and then Pakistan, which was East and West Pakistan at the time. But India helped Bangladesh get their independence from Pakistan, which, yeah. But Kashmir, the British really didn't know how to deal with it, so they just left it alone. And yeah, it sort of didn't really sort itself out. Yeah, the Indian Navy seized Pakistani naval ships going around here, going around Sri Lanka, going up here. They're like, oh god, not again. And Pakistani troops land in Bangladesh. Again, they're back inside of Bangladesh. Which India, you better watch out. Oh, that was quick. If we look at what they have, what they used to look like. And this is what they look like now. Also, they have Bangladesh, so let's just color that in real quick. Obviously, I like the borders of this empire already. But they're gonna pay another visit to someone. This time being Uzbekistan. So they might want a couple provinces. Wait, did I forget something? So they might want a couple provinces. Just like a bit of provinces. They declare war on Uzbekistan. Yeah. But, yeah. These areas over here are going to be quickly taken by Pakistan. Yeah, so Uzbekistan will just surrender, I guess. And they'll give up what they want. Which, if we go over here, I do that. That's Turkmenistan. Right over here, that province. Then right there. So they'll take this area. So yeah. Even these provinces that have like the exclaves. And finally, this looks better, at least. If we turn off borders, yeah, this looks better. But yeah, this empire has a lot of provinces. So where will they go from here? Well, they're going to simulate all this because it was a little too much, too fast. So they're going to simulate all this. And skipping ahead for a few years, they raided their military and declare war on Iran. Now, why do they do that? They want some land. So, Pakistani forces from their territory are invading into Iran. Iran didn't see this coming because they thought they were fine. They really didn't. They really weren't. Yeah, this entire border over here, it already is over in Pakistan. But it gets even worse because Turkey joins in on this war. So does Azerbaijan. They both take over Armenia quickly. And now Iran is fighting a two-front war. Which from history, a two-front war is not good. World War II, when Germany was getting their butt kicked, yeah, they had to deal with two fronts. One from the west and one from the east. So yeah. And now we see another country, Saudi Arabia, join in on this war. Because they also don't have good relations with Iran right now. It's mostly religious, like religious matters. Like they're both Islamic, but they have different branches. One is Sunni and one is Shia. So yeah. So that was a three-front war. And yeah, this area over here is working to capture Tehran, which they probably captured already. Yeah, they just captured Tehran. Now they're gonna go around over here, capturing a lot more territory. Guess what? Iraq has joined in on the war, hoping to get some land from this. And now it's again a two-front war. But wait, Pakistan is going along the coast, meeting up with Saudi Arabia, making it just one single front to deal with. This front will expand itself pretty greatly, taking a lot of areas. Before Iran goes ahead and surrenders, but that'll come at a cost. So let's look at a peace treaty. So we're gonna have to, let's go back up to Turkey. Okay, so right here is Iraq. So this border extends outward. Right over here. So they're gonna take West Azerbaijan. Even a bit of Armenia. Basically like Armavir and Raqqa. And this one over here. Then our Azerbaijan. Well, you already know what they're gonna take. They take Gilan, Ardabil, and East Azerbaijan. Let's look at that real quick. And they also take the rest of Armenia. Now they share a border with Turkey. Let's look at Iraq. So they take two areas. First one, right here. And another one over to here. Something like that. They'll expand there. Then Saudi Arabia, well, they get Hormuzgan. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do my best to draw in the borders. That's my best one I could do. And yeah, a lot of it will go over to Pakistan. Basically, all kinds of, a lot of land will go over to Pakistan. Specifically, right here. Stop clicking. Oh. They're gonna take a lot of provinces, a few provinces, like that. And Iran is still alive, but they lost a large amount of their land. Let's do that real quick. Right, there we go. The Pakistani Empire has expanded its borders. So let me just put that in real quick. Boom, 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 boom. This actually looks like a dinosaur already, right now. Can't you see it? Or maybe it looks like Godzilla. Yeah. Give Iraq their land. Which, hold on, actually, we're not going to do that just yet. Let me put in Iraq over here. Pillar and country. So basically, they don't take Kurds down because they know the Kurds would rebel. Right, let's get Saudi Arabia. Basically, they take over this land. Let's do Turkey over here. So let's get Turkey, color their country. Honestly, this doesn't look that bad. Can't really tell the difference for Turkey. Other than the fact that they now share a border with Armenia. Speaking of Armenia, let's get, Azerbaijan. Why did I say Armenia? Let's color them in. Now let's get the provinces that they took from Armenia, which is a large amount, and they also take over some of this land right here. Now Iran still does exist, but it's a shell of its former self. If we turn off the borders, specifically like the provinces, you can see how Pakistan looks. Also, you can see Saudi Arabia. You can also see Iraq. You can see Azerbaijan and Turkey. All look great. So, who's their next target? Who will be Pakistan's next target? Well, you know how we said they were going around. Here's a good to Bangladesh. Well, turns out that they also wanted Sri Lanka, so they were landing in Sri Lanka. And yeah, they completely annexed Sri Lanka. So yeah. They were at it. They also sent some forces to capture the Maldives, so we'll get that here in a second. This video seems like it's gonna be long, but so if we turn off borders again, We can see that Pakistan looks great. So who their next target be? Well, guess it's time to get India. Now they're pretty strong. Their allies are supporting them. This war. So Pakistani troops get over here to Gujarat. Also go over here into Rajasthan. They also go into this Kashmir area of India, which is heavily militarized, but yeah, they will get that far. And even down here from where they are now, they get to Tamil Nadu, they land there. They land on that province. They even go over here into this area of India. So yeah, that's a lot to deal with. These armies start taking a lot more land. These armies over here will take over this area, getting a lot more land over here. They connect up these armies. Now this Kashmir front is expanding greatly, taking almost all over all of Kashmir. And then they meet up with these forces over here. This front expands itself, getting to the border of China, which China is also supplying Pakistan with weapons because they are allies. And yeah. And now these forces will meet up with each other, completing one giant front line. And now this front also expands. India will eventually lose all of their coastline. While this front also expands. A spearhead towards New Delhi is formed, capturing the capital, and India surrenders for peace. So in this peace treaty, we see that India will lose a lot of land. They'll lose all of these provinces, They'll lose some of these provinces down south. And they'll lose a large amount of provinces over here. Weakening India by a lot. Let's look at this treaty. Now, they still do have their capital, but it's very close to Pakistan now. So, yeah. Good luck, India. And yeah, so this is their empire. I'll see you guys. Wait, let me just put in their allies real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Also, boom. China didn't want to get in the war, so get in on the war, so that's why they just supplied them. Actually, everyone was supplying them while they fought India, so which was a bit long video, honestly. Wow, these borders actually look awesome. I'm surprised I did that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.